So basically something that I've been noticing is that in certain moves, I have a lot of openness in my right quad area, and then in the same kind of movement, I didn't have that much openness in my left side. So it was a stretch that needed to happen that was not happening. So what I've done is I've started breaking down the Tai Chi movements into left right. Now I'm not saying that other people didn't learn it that way, doing the movements as solar exercises on both sides, but the way I learned it is I learned the form. So for example, this movement, and then it's like a jump kick. I learned that sequence. But, or even in walk obliquely, that movement, again, very open in my right paw, not so much in my left when I tried to do walk obliquely on the opposite side. So yeah, when I try to do it on the opposite side, I can feel the pull right in there. And this is because I've been practicing quite a bit. Same thing with this movement. I can feel the pull in here. It's gotten a lot better. So now I can actually sink back down into it and open it up, and I can generate motion from there. Well, that's just an idea of something I suggest for people after you're used to the Tai Chi movements. I think that doing them, as I go back to the beginning, doing the Tai Chi movements in the sequence that we learn them is very helpful, because that's the form, that's the pattern. And as my Sifu says, like, you know, both sides of your body are supposed to move in harmony, so that way it's not just one side getting open but both sides. However, for me specifically, I was not feeling that by just going through the pattern in itself. And when I started doing the opposite side of the body, movements on the opposite side of the body, that is when I realized I was not actually feeling the opening, because now that I'm doing the opposite side, if I can do it now that I'm being recorded, then now I feel opening that I didn't feel before. Like this movement, I didn't realize how much my right side had to open just to get this movement going. I didn't realize how much I wasn't sinking into my left side, because I sink into my right side all the time. But in this movement, you have to sink into the right, into the left. So I had to feel that opening. Even this, sinking into it. I might be out of order right now because so in any way, like there were so many things that when I was just going through the form, so now going back to the beginning, here, I actually should be sinking into that more than I am in order to do that turn. And then I can step out and the same way I'm sinking here to do this turn. And I didn't realize that I wasn't doing those things until I did the reverse form. And I was like, wait a minute. My body isn't feeling the same on both sides. When I do this movement here, I feel relaxed, I feel even, I feel rooted. This movement should have me feel relaxed, even, and rooted, and yet I feel stretched. When I sit into it and I hold that posture, that stretch kind of goes away and it opens up, and then that hip feels great, but it wasn't feeling like that at first. Now that I'm more advanced in my form, because when I first started the form, it was just choreography. I didn't sink anywhere. Everything was just body weight moving. And now that I'm starting to feel more of the Dantian rotation and the opening of the joints in the body, the sinking, the turning, now I can say, oh, wait, my body isn't even. I'm not as strong as on both sides. But before I couldn't recognize that. So like with Tai Chi especially, and I'm sure with other martial arts, it's layers on layers on layers. I know for me, my punching has gotten much better, where now I'm punching and I'm kind of like hiding behind my shoulder when my punch goes out, whereas before my punch used to go out, my chin was up, things like that. So with any kind of discipline, it takes time and you build on the layers. But I just thought this was a very interesting thing to note, that I'm just by reversing, mirroring, I should say, just by mirroring the form, it has made a huge difference in what I was feeling in my body, in my ability for my brain to recognize those things. Literally, it just went, oh, that doesn't feel the same on this side. And I started working that movement, until it felt more of the same. And I had some like hip pain in my left side. I couldn't figure out what it was. And now that I'm doing this practice, I'm figuring out what it was. My hip was just super tight, super pinched. The muscles weren't working. The support just wasn't there. It wasn't open and as mobile as it could be. And so now that I'm going through the Tai Chi form, that's getting better and better every single day. I'm sure back in the day they did all of this, and now it's like this whole learning cycle. And again, it might just depend on how each person does things. I know some of my classmates have asked my teacher if they, to show them and work on the mirror image and things like that. And I've done that in my past experience with martial arts, like trying to do it. But at the level that I'm at, it's a whole different cognitive and physical experience that is more meaningful to me now. And to say that is just to say, in the future, just because you've done an exercise or you've practiced something doesn't mean it's not going to mean something different. So do things like this, like practice your form with the mirror image to see if maybe it unlocks some things for you as well. So that's just my recent revelation that I'm sharing. And thank you for joining me on this path. I'm going to go back and try to get some more. And I actually I've turned it into solo exercise drills. So there's this kind of a movement where it's not done exactly how it's done in the form. I'm just kind of spiraling up myself and doing like a locomotion kind of a thing, rather than doing the punch and then the catch and all that kind of stuff. The same thing goes for walk obliquely. I'll do this, then I'll come here, and I'll do this, and I'll come here, and I'll do this. And so I just I mean, these are the fast, messy versions, but I've just turned each of these movements that don't feel equal on both sides into solo exercises, and I kind of figure out which point can I repeat that exercise and continue it on the other side. So like I'll just walk up, you know, maybe 5 steps, turn around, walk back 5 steps. So I don't really need that much room. It doesn't take too much time to isolate that feeling and that movement and get really relaxed in that motion in that moment. So hopefully this advice helps someone, or at least in the future helps me when I watch this video again. So again, thank you for martial arts. Follow me, joining me on the martial arts path. Subscribe, comment what tricks help you when you're training.